Board meeting of November 12th, 2024 at 7 p.m. Sharon, will you lead us in the pledge?
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, housekeeping items. Board, when speaking, please move close to your microphone to ensure you are heard clearly for the YouTube streaming. And I request that citizens who speak to adjust the height and stand close to their microphone. There will be 2 opportunities for citizen comments. I will be requesting individuals stay within the 4 minutes in both citizen comment sections. We would appreciate everyone keeping points concise. I would request that comments are made respectfully to the board. We are here to discuss the township's business. Citizen comments should pertain to specific issues, concerns, policies that they would like to bring the board's attention. The documents on the website are aligned to the items on the agenda. These are draft documents to provide background information only. To be clear, motions are drafted to help the board more quickly get to the final wording and vote on the respective motions. The final motion may look different to reflect the actual action taken by the board. So our first item, board, is we have 1 set of minutes to approve. Are there any changes to the minutes to the regular board meeting of October 15th, 2024?
I have none.
Alan, any?
I have none.
All right. Since there are no changes, I will make the motion to approve the October 15th, 2024 regular board meeting.
I'll second
Minutes?
that.
You're quick tonight. You want to really run through this. It is moved and seconded to approve the regular board meeting of October 15th, 2024 regular board meeting. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, Kath, we have correspondence and announcements.
Yes. Not many. For anybody that needs the information, there's a way for you to complain about your cable service, video service, and there's a process you can go through if you have any complaints. So the township has a document about how you go about doing that. So if you ever want to make a complaint to your video company, contact the township and then we can get you the rules and regs for that. Also, Antrim County put out back in October, I'll just read quickly. As you may be aware, the state of Michigan has called for an update to county material management plans, also known as solid waste plans, as a result of updated legislation to Part 115, solid waste management. The updated materials management plans will focus on sustainable materials management, such as recycling, composting, instead of primarily disposal. Antrim County will be working with Networks Northwest for the development of the materials management plan for the county. The plan development will be guided in part by the formation of the Antrim County Materials Management Planning Committee. As a local unit of government, there are 3 seats for elected officials, 1 from the county, 1 from the townships, 1 from the cities and villages. You may find that your organization meets other requirements, so please note those if this holds true. If you'd like to serve on this planning committee, They invite you to fill out and submit Antrim County Notice of Interest form. Please consider applying over the next few weeks to be considered for appointment by the Board of Commissioners. So then they sent a follow-up letter that the deadline for doing that is coming up. It's November 22nd. And honestly, I thought they also were inviting the public. I didn't think it was just for the board. Anyway, Antrim County has a link for the application. So if you'd like to work on the future plans for where we're heading with recycling and waste management in general, there is going to be a committee taking a look at that. So if you have interest in that, give us a heads up on that one as well.
Give the county a call.
Yeah, the county. And I think that's all I have put in my folder.
All right. Thank you. Next item is approval of the agenda. Anyone have any changes? I have one. I would like to add item number 4 to address the request to have Jackie Peterson be approved as deputy clerk. If there are no others, then I would like to make the motion that the agenda be accepted with changes. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Where are you putting that, sir? Under new business?
Yes.
Okay.
It is moved and seconded that the agenda is accepted with changes. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Board. Next item is citizen comment. Please respect the 4-minute limit. Any comments related to Kathy and Alan, I would ask that you use the second citizen comment section for those comments. I would appreciate it for us to be able to get through the meeting. Also, board, as a reminder, this is not citizen debate. Board members can respond during the final board comment section of the agenda. Do we have comments?
Why don't we have Jairus and Jemima? Where are they? I
don't
only
know.
have one.
And that is, I am
That's what we have.
assuming Mike, right?
What's that?
Mike Bertram? Is that the one?
Yes.
And he'll do the second.
Okay,
Second
well,
time.
he didn't say it that way, but okay.
All right. Moving on to the next, we have the consent agenda. Anybody have any of the reports that you would like to pull out? Sharon?
I'd like to pull the ambulance report, please.
Ambulance. Any other reports? Hearing none, ambulance will be pulled. All other reports are accepted by consent. All right, Sharon?
The report was good. I just want to point out kudos to Ted and Mike for for the division of the EMS agency that certified our ambulances. They went through it with a fine-tooth comb, and they even had a run during the interview, and they had to finish it when they got back. So I just wanted to say kudos to a fine job of another year of excellence on getting getting our license and certification. Thank you.
All right. Any other comments on that, on the ambulance? Hearing none, I make the motion to accept the ambulance reports. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All reports accepted. All right, we move on to special reports. Jason, Planning Commission.
I was not at the meeting, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty laid back and it was just about the master plan, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's on the master plan, any specific dates or plans?
That I don't know. I didn't watch the meeting.
All right.
I failed you, Bob.
I was just checking, Jason, you know?
It's hunting season, man.
All right, Kathy, any new FOIA requests or an update on the one open item?
I believe the one open item has been completed.
With
I
Mr.
did,
Swanson?
I did send off an email to him
Okay,
because I know he had questioned that.
Yep.
And I have received no new ones. And I officially resign as FOIA coordinator right now. So if anything comes in tonight, oh, well,
that's perfect timing.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
I know.
Well, we need a second on that motion there, Kathy.
Yeah,
No, I don't think so. I think
Urgent.
We'll accept it as
Second that.
consent. On the financial overview, as always, any questions regarding the financials can be directed either to myself or the clerk's office. We remain in good shape with regards to our financial performance. The general fund has both higher revenue and lower expenses, as 13 out of the 20 cost centers are running under budget. For roads, fire, and ambulance, the variances reflect the timing of expenses and revenue versus when they were budgeted. I believe by the time we get through November and into December, those variances will be minimal. We also took delivery of our new fire truck, and you can contact the fire chief and get a personal view of it if you'd like. Finally, we will be outlining our budgeting process at the December board meeting. And that concludes my report.
you really need to go see the fire truck. If such a thing as a truck can be beautiful, it's beautiful. It really is pretty.
It is.
It's
pretty
big.
awesome.
It's been posted on Facebook too, so if anyone looks under fire department, it's in there too. Yeah.
Not quite, not quite. High expensive silver, maybe. All right, move to the next item. We have no old business. We have now four items for new business. And Sharon, the first item is yours.
Well, we have, again, the annual agreement for summer tax collection. This one is from Central Lake District School, Public Schools. I do not have Elk Rapids as yet, so nothing has changed. It's the same one we've had for the last 20-some years. So I make a motion, unless there's any questions.
I don't hear any.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the agreement for collection of 2025 summer school property taxes from Central Lake Public Schools and Torch Lake Township.
For $2.50 per parcel.
Yes, it's in the contract,
I
yes.
see.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Motion has been made and seconded to accept the agreement presented for collection of 2025 summer school property taxes at $2.50 per parcel with Central Lake Public Schools. Kathy, roll call vote?
Roll call. You didn't give me a sheet. Okay. Alan,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Mr. Cook,
Yes.
Ms. Schultz,
Yes,
myself, yes. So that motion passes 5-0.
Great. Thank you, board. You ready, Kath? All set? All right, second item. Sharon, I believe this is a non-voting matter, so I'll let you read the announcement.
if I could get the fire department, anybody in the room could stand up, please.
All right.
This was from October, but it was during the time of, we already had a board meeting, so it's a little bit late because we have, the month here. But I would like to read this. The Fire Prevention Week of October of 2024. This year's theme was smoke alarms, make them work for you. This board and the entire community of Torch Lake Township acknowledge the fire department as a vital public service. The department is first class team and ready to serve and protect those in need 24 hours a day to our constituents. Our sincere appreciation as we recognize the accomplishments of Torch Lake Fire Department and the best wishes for their constant safety, good health, and for the future and the upcoming year. Thank you for what you do. It's a great team. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sharon. Item number 3, Mike, you want to give a real quick introduction to the new employee we're looking at?
The new employee went through an interview process. Lisa and Ted were involved in that, and I appreciate
Is the
their time and
microphone on,
effort.
Mike?
Oh, I don't know.
Yep, it is.
Yes. I'll speak louder. No. Anyhow, we went through an interview process. The applicant went through the background check and all the reference checks. Name is Jason Sophia. He did work here before. He'll be filling in as part-time per diem. He's got many years of experience, and he has 2 children, and they're young, and actually they participate in hunter safety courses that I've been involved with them. So he'll be working per diem part-time as of now, and then we'll see how it goes after that.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Mike? Hearing none, I'll make the motion to approve the hiring of Jason Sofa as part-time paramedic effective November 13th, 2024 at the approved paramedic rate. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion has been made to approve the hiring of Jason Sofa as a part-time paramedic effective November 13th, 2024 at the approved paramedic rate. Any further discussion on the matter?
I do have a question. He's coming with your recommendation, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
He wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
Well, is he here, Jason? No.
All right
No.
here.
Okay.
Wrong Jason. All right, Kathy, would you have a roll call vote, please?
I sure will. Is there a sheet?
No.
No. We'll start on this end. Sharon?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Ms. Schultz? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mr. Merchant?
Yes.
Mr. Martell?
Yes.
And myself, yes. And so this motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you, board. All right, item number 4. Our zoning administrator has indicated that she does not feel the need for the continuation of the assistant zoning administrator position. I am working with her on how she will move forward in running the zoning office. At the same time, Mary Merchant, our newly elected clerk, has requested that the board agree with her request to bring Jackie Peterson in as deputy clerk. I think that is a great choice. Part of why we're doing it now is because Sharon wants to get ahead of the curve for the banking requirements. And so therefore, I will make the motion to approve the request for Jackie Peterson to serve as the new deputy clerk effective November 20th, 2024, at a rate of $23 per hour. Do I have a second?
Can we add to that motion there, please?
I don't know. What do you want to add?
Well, the bank's going to need, all you're doing is adding Jackie. And I know you stated, but the motion needs to say for our newly elected, so that they know who our newly elected person is also. Because they don't have that in the motion.
For the newly elected
Clerk, Township Clerk, Torch Lake Township Clerk, Mary Merchant.
Mary Merchant. All right.
And I do believe you said for us to approve her recommendation. Did you
Her
not?
request.
Her
Yes.
request? Okay.
Yeah, because we do not.
We do not. That's what I wanted to make
approve the
sure
request.
that it's clear. The clerk, the deputy clerk is totally up to the clerk, as
Yep.
is the deputy treasurer,
Deputy Treasurer. Treasurer.
as is the deputy treasurer. It's up to you. Anyway, yeah.
You got it straight.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I think that's important.
I will make the
actually.
motion to approve the request for Jackie Peterson to serve as the new deputy clerk effective November 20th, 2024, at a rate of $23 per hour for the newly elected Township Clerk Mary Merchant.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I'll second that.
All right. Any questions? It's been moved and seconded. Hearing none. Kathy, will you conduct your final roll call?
Roll call vote. Sure. Jason,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Sharon,
Ms. Schultz, yes.
I forgot. See, now you made me forget. Alan
Yes.
and Kathy, yes. So that motion is approved, 5-0
Thank
as
you,
well.
Board. That completes the new business. We have nothing on board discussion. We have nothing for informational, well, we do. We have one item, informational purposes only, that Sharon is going to handle. So yours.
Thank you. This is going to be very informal. So I would like Alan to come to the front here, please.
Don't cry, Alan.
I might be crying. On behalf of MTA, I would like to present to you the certificate award to Alan Martell in recognition of 35 years of dedicated service in Fort Lake Township. And I am the director of MTA District 6, which is Andrews County, Crawford, Otsego, and Calcasieu counties. So I am here as representing the MTA directorship and presenting to you this fine award from MTA. Thank you so much.
Did you take?
Again, as Director 6 of MTA, I would like to present to you, Kathy Windier, the certificate award in recognition of the 12 years of dedicated service as the clerk of Torch Lake Township, Antrim County. That's one good thing about being a district rep. I get to do all these fancy things here.
Very nice, thank you.
We also have a clerk just to the north of us in Banks Township that's retiring, Donna Harris, with 40 years of continued service as clerk.
Yep. They come and they go, you know?
All right. We'll have the final section of citizen comments.
Okay,
Mike?
Mr. Bertram?
Got a lot to read here. How many minutes do I have? 4?
4.
Actually,
now.
anyhow, I'm just up here because I want to say to Kathy and Alan, I want to take this brief moment and say thank you, Kathy and Alan, for many years as a public servant for Torch Lake Township. Your support for our fire EMS team is so welcome and has been very, very muchly appreciated by us. I sincerely hope that your time away from public service will be a joy for both of you. It's been an honor to serve both of you in the past few years. Once again, many, many thanks. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Mike.
you, Michael.
And Mike brought the vegetable tray back there for everyone to enjoy also. Thank you, Mike.
Any other comments? If not, then you didn't fill out a form.
Okay, so Kathy and Alan, I just want to thank you both for everything that you've done. And I was thinking about legacy and I was thinking about leadership. And I was trying to think, how would I describe that? And I came across something and it says, if your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream, learn more and do more and become more, then you are an excellent leader. And I just want to say those are things that remind me of both of you. And I appreciate everything that you've done for our township over the years and that I know you will continue to do. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Board comment. Jason, we're going to start with you.
Alan, I think that's gonna be a hard record to beat. I'd be 78 if I lasted 35 years. It was a pleasure serving with you and Kathy.
All right, thank you. Sharon, it's your turn.
Well, I've said all my things, and I do want to congratulate, and I'm going to say this is not their first retirements. Both of them have had retirements. So this is kind of a more retirements, so get out, enjoy yourselves, do a little traveling. I know Kathy's going to be traveling, and Alan, Chris, you maybe get a hold of his wings and take him out and have some fun out there, but don't be strangers, come back. Kathy has volunteered to come back and work on the cemetery type of things.
Yes, I
So we got that in the record, don't we?
I'll put it in there now.
So thank you both for the years of your dedicated service too. But on the board side of it, in last month's meeting, we talked about and made a motion to approve Great Lakes Energy Study, adding that streetlight in corner Manitou Trail. I've reached out to Great Lakes and they're getting an engineer to be looking at it. It's nothing fast process, but I do want in the records that the process has started for an engineer to come and look. It may take a little while. We all know it takes a while for them to come out. So anyway, I do want in the records that Great Lakes Energy has been notified and I'm waiting for the report study for that.
That's Manitou, right?
Manitou and 31. So that's all I have to say there.
Great, thank you. Kathy?
Oh, where to start? When I first retired from my education job, I was a teacher downstate and finally was able to move to Torch Lake, my dream to come true. And I had to have a job, so I worked at the Eastport Market. And I knew of the Leach family, and Doris Leach came in the market quite often. And I said to Doris, now that I live up here in the township, I'd really be interested in, doing something, learning more about my township, being more involved. And she said, oh, you can do the minutes for the Planning Commission and the ZBA. And I said, yeah, no minutes. That's not for me. And so as I was taking the minutes for the Planning Commission and the ZBA, I was cursing the fact that I ever opened my mouth. But that's how I got into Torch Lake Township, is way back when Doris was the clerk. And I eventually became her deputy clerk and then ran for clerk when she decided it was time to retire. So I do have a history of Torch Lake Township in my blood, and it's been a pleasure. I don't know where all these years have gone. And I will miss the people. I will miss the people and the community. You're still there. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. I will volunteer for anything except FOIA and minutes. No FOIA, no minutes. So that's somebody else. So thank you, everyone, for all the accolades tonight. This has been very, very nice, and I do appreciate it. So thank you, Torch Lake.
Alan?
How much time do we have?
4 minutes.
How much do you need?
2 weeks before my 12th birthday, I was at the dinner table and my father looked at me and he said, "You're going to be 12 2 weeks from now. I want you to have a job." Now, I'm the youngest of 4. And my two brothers had gotten jobs. My sister had gotten a job, and I found a paper route job, and I've been working ever since. I've had a job all these years, and that was kind of that work ethic was one of the best pieces of advice my dad could give us. I want to describe my father, who was a wonderful provider, a little bit difficult as a father. I always describe him as a man who ate stones for breakfast. But he kept us on the right track and kept us going. So I wandered into a lot of different things in my life. I attended the General Motors Institute thinking I wanted to be an engineer. I always liked school. I always got good grades. I liked school. I didn't want to be an engineer, and I left there thinking that I wanted to be a doctor. Went on to Wayne State, got a bachelor's degree, and did not want to be a doctor. My brother said, "Why don't you apply to dental school?" So I took the test for dental school, and I got into the UAD dental school. So I was in dental school for a short time. I says, I don't want to keep looking at people's mouths. It was a real turnoff. Now, how the teeth work, that's fine. So I left, but I had been substitute teaching to pay the bills, and I liked working with the students. The thing that caught me, somebody always would say to me, well, you're a teacher, you must like kids. Some kids you like, and some kids it's difficult to like them. But I liked the process of you need to learn something and I have to find out how to get it to you. That was very interesting to me. And so I stuck with that for 32 years. I did administration and teaching of middle school and high school, biology, chemistry in the high school, 8th grade science in middle school, and could not complain about that career. It was really fun. And then I came up here, and in 6 months, you have all the jobs done that you're going to do that you can't do while you're working. And I just looked around and said, what do I do? And I had put my address up here in the very late 80s, maybe 90. And there was an opening on the ZBA. And I think that's how I started in my work here. And I go back and I said, what is the one thing that really caught you about this job? Well, 2 things, actually. One of them was that when I first was a trustee, and I had to go in and see, and I don't think it was you, Kathy, maybe it was, I had to do this oath of office. You promise to uphold the Constitution of the United States.
Kathy.
And I said, I do, in Torch Lake Township. I mean, this looked like federal stuff to me, or maybe even state level, but I have to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And now I begin more and more to understand that responsibility, that we do have a constitutional federal republic, and it has a lot of checks and balances. It has its problems, as you know. But it really began to make sense to me, and especially as I continued to work in this job. The second thing that caught me, especially when I became supervisor, was all I do is represent you. If I have views up here that are contrary to you, or you have views that you want me to do things that are contrary to what I believe in, I'm out of here. And I think I said that a couple times in my campaigns. But it was a matter of just representing you. We had standing room only for short-term rentals. And, everyone said, we don't want them. And they suddenly were showing up in our township. That was an easy one. No problem. We don't have to have short-term rentals. And eventually we not only had a court decision on that, we also had it put into the zoning as a statement. And the other one was, of course, our ambulance. Our people said, and again, that was two standing room only, we want our ambulance here. We want to own our ambulance, and we will pay for it. And that was loud and clear. Well, it's a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. Fine, we'll keep our ambulance here. We won't farm it out in any way, shape, or form, and we'll keep it for the public. So all of those things were learning experiences for me. Surprisingly, I don't mind committees. I like working with committees. You always get a lot of good things. They're longer, they're tedious. You sometimes say, what am I sitting through this for? But the end result is often pretty good. So I like that very much. So now the next problem I've got is I've got to find another job. My dad is looking down and he'd say, okay, get your butt moving, got to go. So I appreciate it. It's been very fun. I've learned and met all these great people. You have a good board coming in here that'll represent us well. And it's been, just a real pleasure for what I experienced. I would recommend it. For those of you that are watching on the tube here, I recommend that you put some time in it with your government here, and you're going to learn a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
That was in 2000, Alan, when you took that oath. It was in 2000,
Oh,
with Doris Leach.
okay.
Had to be Doris there.
Wow, okay.
24 years. Well, board, this is the end of our turn. First, I want to thank all of you for the hard work that we accomplished this year. The passage of major initiatives. We put the township on a strong financial footing for the foreseeable future. We began the process of building reserves for the MS and the fire and the roads so that future generations are going to have money to do it and they don't have to go into great debt. We saw the Planning Commission rewrite our zoning ordinances. We passed the new administrative policies for the township. We really have a lot to be proud of over 4 years. I also want to welcome the new board members that will be joining us and to say goodbye to Helen and Kathy. Kathy, I hope Florida's weather treats you great for the next 3 months.
I just
That
hope
you're
they
down there.
don't have any more hurricanes.
No more
No
hurricanes,
more
right?
hurricanes.
Now, and I owe you a lot. It's funny, your background as you were talking, I came to the township, I met with you, and you put me as an alternate on the ZBA. And ultimately, I was stubborn, but you talked me into running for supervisor. So my being here is a big thank you to you for all that you did for me. I have a lot of respect for the years that you put in at a ZBA, the Planning Commission, and the township boards. Don't ride off into the sunset. I expect to see you here at board meetings. I want you involved in the township. With that, let's have a celebration for these
Yeah,
two fine
woo-hoo.
folks. And I make the motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I will second that
All in
motion.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
7:37.
Board, folks, there's food in the background.